23 of the 28 member nations are still not paying what they should be paying and what they are supposed to be paying for their defense. This is not fair to the people and taxpayers of the United States.
Donald Trump swore NATO allies to increase their defense spending, or else he might just walk away from the alliance and take the U.S. with him. But NATO believes they're doing more than enough.
But when it comes to NATO, to security and defense, the transatlantic bond is not weakening, it's actually been strengthened.
Trump has sent letters to NATO allies and has criticized Germany, Belgium, Norway, and Canada for not spending enough. All 28 NATO members have committed to spending at least 2% of their GDP on national defense each year. But only the United States, Greece, the UK, Estonia, and Poland have met that goal. Overall, the US funds about 70% of NATO spending, and there are fears that if it left the military alliance, the result would be disastrous, leaving Europe vulnerable to a range of threats, including increased Russian military activity, terrorism, and cyber attacks. The U.S. spends more on defense than China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, India, France, the United Kingdom, and Japan combined. It contributes troops, money, and equipment to NATO, and nowhere has its presence been more evident than Afghanistan. Of the 130,000 NATO forces in the country at the height of the conflict, 100,000 were American. The U.S. says it's also been left to pick up the slack of other European countries in their own backyard. Oslo asked Washington to send 700 Marines to train closer to the Russian border, after Moscow increased its naval activity in international waters close to Norway. Tensions have heightened ever since Russia annexed Crimea in 2014 and backed pro-Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine. In response, NATO has placed multinational battle groups across Eastern Europe for the past 2 years. And it's felt confident that in the case of a Russian attack, they could depend on the U.S. to come to their rescue. But can they? Since taking office, Trump has made a point of walking away from several international treaties and organizations. He's pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and the Iran nuclear deal. And there are growing concerns about what would happen if Trump pulls the U.S. out of Europe's most hostile zones and even quits the military alliance altogether. Pirovolakis, The Newsmakers.